welcome to Have to Full Podcast with me. I'm your host, Ricky T. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I am excited to be here. It's been a long time coming, but your girl is here. Your girl is ready. I just want to thank you for all the support and love and encouragement to doing this. This has just been, a journey for me to finally get out here and be with you guys. So welcome. This is a safe space. This is a healing space. This is a encouraging space that we just all love. Real, authentic, transparent. This is just the space for that. That is why I've created this podcast, because I wanted to share the love, share the encouragement, share the enlightenment to our community. We have to stick together. We have to be one. So a lot of people have been asking me what made me start a podcast, or what made me even want to go on a healing journey. The answer to that, for one, with the podcast, is that I just had a dream. I had a dream that I was pregnant. I was pregnant with something. Something was inside of me. It was birthing. And I had to ask God, what does this dream mean? What am I birthing inside? And, what is about to come? What am I about to give birth to? And I've been just fascinated with the world of podcasts. Everyone has a podcast, of course, but it's also in what are you pouring into the people? What is your content? What is your material on your podcast? So, I was like, I could have a podcast. I have so much to say, and people don't really know me. They know me, but they don't know me. And to know me is to have a conversation with me and to see where my brain is, where I'm coming from, my journey, my experience, but to also encourage others on their journey and their experience. So that's where the podcast came from. That's where the vision came from. It came from a dream, and now I'm making it into a reality. Okay. And so then, people have asked me, how did I start my healing journey? What started my healing journey? And honestly, I had to be tired of myself. The things I was going through, the things that were, I was faced with in life itself, people, places, and things. I had to get tired of the way that I was living, the things that I was exposed to, the patterns, the behaviors. You literally have to be tired of yourself to want change. I had to want the change. I had to become the change. I had to seek guidance for the change. I have mentors. My pastors are my mentors. So going to them and, getting spiritually endowed with God and just doing this walk with Him, that's, how I started my healing journey. So a little backstory on me. I haven't been in church all my life. I really didn't grow up in the church, but the church was always a part of my life as a young woman, as a young girl, as a young woman. Growing up, I went to church daycares and things of that nature, but we weren't avid goers of church. I really didn't get the experience of church until about, I would say, 14 or 15 years old, when I actually started going to a church. It was a church home where we fellowship. We went to church, not every day, but it was always something going on, whether we had revival, we had Bible study, we had children's church, and I was also a praise dancer. So that's kind of where my journey started with the church. Was about age 14, 15. And I still really didn't understand the concept of church. I was still trying to maneuver through how to get through this, and what does this mean? Who is God? What is He saying? What is the purpose for my life? For one, what's the purpose for my life? And just navigating how to be a teenager, still wanted to, do the things that I was doing, but also incorporating the spiritual side of me. But, also say, I went through my teenage years still really not knowing the full extent of God, but still having a part of him with me wherever I went. And then when I went to college, still the same thing. You know, he allowed me to have my journey, and I'm thankful for that through college. But it really didn't stick with me until I would say I went through a breakup, like in my 20s, like my early 20s, out of college. Like, I was going through an intense breakup, and it was very, very detrimental to my spirit, because I was just going through so much with anxiety, depression, and just low self-esteem, and just, you know, not feeling worthy. And I feel like at that very moment, that's when God came in and really like asked me, do you really want this? Do you really want the help? Do you really want the healing? Do you really want the change? Because this is what the world has to offer, but now are you ready to see what I have to offer you? And at that moment, I was still scared, but I still said yes. And, you know, he helped me through every moment, every step of the way through that breakup. Yes, it was dark. Yes, it was hard. Yes, I was crying at night, crying all day. I wasn't eating. Yes, I was going through so much, still trying to find my way and find myself as a woman in my 20s, trying to navigate this thing, because I did not know what I was doing. I was just trying to trust the process, and all having trust issues. So I'm trying to trust God, something that I cannot see, but still willing to go forward and just trust the process. So I thank God for that. I thank God for that journey, that moment in time, to where I said yes to him, and he brought me through. And, you know, just also the most important thing is having people around you that really love you and really care about you and want to see you succeed and want to see you do well. And they praying for you. They are, you know, encouraging you. They calling you. They checking on you. Like, that's what I had. And I'm just so grateful for that I had people in my corner literally checking on me, calling me, saying, you okay? Do you need anything? God is going to get you through this. Do you want me to pray with you? Because it was really a tough time. It was really a tough time. And not just the physical breakup and just going through the breakup, but also other things that I had attached to me, like things from my childhood, things from, you know, family related issues and friendships that, you know, ended, you know, things of that nature. It wasn't just a romantic breakup, but also friendship breakups are very hard. So, you know, just going through all of that, I was just like, God, I know I need to submit. I had to submit myself. And in that, he's just been taking me on this journey. Not saying that it's perfect now, because I still have struggles. I am no perfect Christian, but I know God, and I know that he's gonna just always be with me, and he's always transforming me and transforming my mind. So I'm just grateful. But yeah, the journey has been crazy, okay? It has been crazy, but it has been worth it. Like, when I look back on it, it's like I don't regret nothing. I don't take nothing for granted. I don't want to change anything, because I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the journey. So it's just like, keep holding on. You know, you might think the journey is rough, it's crazy, you want to give up, you want to throw in the towel, but I'm just here to tell you that don't throw in the towel, because it's all for a purpose. It's all for the greater good. It's all to help someone else. Everything that we go through is not so much for ourselves, but it's to help somebody else get through what they're going through. And we have to be able to relate and talk to people about the things that we go through. How can we help someone else if we have never been through anything? If you ask yourself that, how can we help someone else get up from the ground if we haven't been knocked to the ground before? So it's like a win-win. We got to pull each other up, and that's why I created this space. I created this space to be a safe space, to be a healing space, to be a space of encouragement for people that look like me, brothers and sisters, young ones and old ones, anyone. I'm just here to extend my knowledge and to help start growth in you guys to start your own journeys if you haven't already, or keep going in your journey for where you are. Like, God will meet you where you are, and He will hold your hand through this whole process. So don't give up. Don't give up. Like, it's not worth, it'll be worth it in the end. It's not worth giving up in the middle. But yeah, so back to that healing journey. What does that mean? It means growing pains, especially in your 20s. In your 20s, you're going to go through a lot of growing pains. You're going to go through a lot of transitions. You're going to go through a lot of changes internally, externally. You're going to go through friends. You're going to go through, family problems, people changing, and everybody's constantly evolving in their own way, and their path might not look like your path. You want to take people with you, but everyone isn't meant to go with you to your next destination. That's just how life works. So we can't take it personal when, the friends fall off and the family starts to act shady and they talk about us bad. You can't take it personal. It's just all a part of the process. Sometimes God separates us from the things that distract us. And most of these things are distractions, and we have to, keep ourselves focused on what our purpose is. And your purpose is for you. God has a specific purpose for each and every one of us on this earth, and your purpose is specifically for you, and everybody cannot go on that journey with you. Yeah, you're going to be alone sometimes, and it's not always going to feel good, but it's going to be worth it, and you're going to meet new people along the way. He's going to send people when it's time. But sometimes God just wants us to Himself, and He wants just our undivided attention. I had to learn that, because when the friends started falling off, I was like, Lord, why my friends disappearing, and why they don't understand me anymore, and why am I feeling this way, that I'm not feeling included no more? And He was like, because I set you apart. I have work for you to do, and I need you to be apart from them right now, because they're going down a different road than you are. And I have a purpose for you that's going to help many. And I need your undivided attention. I need to fix you and work on you. And that's when I noticed then I had to do the work. It was work to be done. This healing journey is not just peaches and cream. It is work, okay? It is work that needs to be done. It is, self-reflection, accountability. First and foremost, you got to look yourself in the mirror and you don't even like yourself. Can we talk about it? You gotta point out your flaws. You gotta point out the things that are not so great in you, and you have to deal with those things. You have to get, some sort of counsel and deliverance from those things, because we're not perfect. Like, we have flaws, we have struggles, we're stubborn, we can be grudge holders, we can have bad attitudes. We're not always so nice. I wasn't always that nice. I thought I was, but I wasn't always nice, and I had to work on those things, because I can't, try to heal and the inside of me is trash. I can't look good on the outside when the inside is messed up. Like, yeah, I want to be a woman with substance, and being that woman with substance, you got to look good on the inside and on the outside, but mainly on the inside, because God is looking at our insides, and He cares about what our insides look like, not so much on the outer appearance. So I had to come to conclusion of, I got to work on these insides. What's in me that needs to be worked on? What do I need to deal with? What are my struggles and my flaws, my stubbornness? I was a grudge holder. I was going to hold a grudge against you, but that does nothing but build unforgiveness, and it makes you sick. Like, I had to learn the hard way that builds unforgiveness, and God tells us that we have to forgive. So that's one of the things. Accountability. Some of the things that I went through in my life, I had to take accountability of what part I played in that situation. What was my role in that situation, and how did it, affect other people and not just myself? Like, was I part of the problem, or was I the victim? And sometimes we're not the victim. Sometimes we're a part of the problem, or we are the problem, and we might look at the other person as the problem, but it's really us. Because also the people that we hang around and that we choose are a reflection of us. Newsflash, yeah. Some of the people we hang around are a reflection of us. So if they're acting crazy and they have all these things going on, well, what does that say about you? Yeah, we're picking these friends, right? We have a sound conscience when we're choosing these friends. We got to make sure, sometimes we're trauma bonding, picking these friends in these relationships. So it's like, okay, what is in me that is attaching this type of person? So it all comes back to, honestly, it all comes back to us. What's inside of us, what we're dealing with. Because everything around us is a reflection of what we allow access into our lives. And so that was a part of my journey through my 20s of what was I allowing access to into my life? Who was I allowing access to? I was allowing people who were, abusive, who would use you, who would manipulate, who would, try to get over, who would treat you terrible, like didn't know how to treat a person because they weren't treated well. So all of this stuff reflecting on what I was allowing in my life and I was a part of the problem because I allowed these people, places, and things to have access to me. But I just thank God. I thank God for his grace and his mercy, because if it wasn't for him, I probably would still be in that same position. And I'm just glad and thankful that he brought me out. He brought me out alive. He brought me out well. He changed my heart. He fixed my posture. He changed the way I think, the way I talk, the way I walk, the way I act. Like, it's a constant process. It is a constant. I didn't just do this overnight, baby. This is 6 years and counting of the work I had to put in, and to be able to be in front of you today and say that I'm still on a journey. But the journey is looking bright. It's more healthy. It's happy. The self-esteem is high. The standards are high, because much is given, much is required. And I'm just grateful. So with that being said, trust your process. Your healing is not going to look like everybody else's healing. My healing may not look like the next person's healing, but we all have to heal at the end of the day. We cannot, stay and let these negative things consume us, consume our bodies, consume our minds. And we wonder why we're walking around sick. We wonder why we're walking around depressed and have anxiety. No, those things cannot stay. They're not allowed to stay. You have the power over your life. God has the power that he's given you, that you have authority over your life to speak positive things over yourself. We're not going to get anywhere if we keep speaking negative about our situations, or we keep speaking negative about ourselves and the people around us. We have to speak positive. And that's when you start to see the change. When you transform your mind, oh my goodness, when you transform your mind, you will really start to see things for what they really are. When you change your thinking, when your perception changes, you start to really see things in a different light. And it's just so amazing. I started to see things in a different light of how people thought, or even how I thought. This person's acting this way because they may have gone through that through their past relationship or through their past experiences. With the manipulation, a person may have been manipulated before, so they picked up on the manipulation, now they're using it against you. It's always a root to every problem. It's always a root to why certain people are the way they are. And once you realize that, your whole perception will change towards people, places, and things. So it's not by accident, that we go through things. It's not by accident that God allows things to happen to us sometimes to shift our perspective. It's really not by accident that you had to hit rock bottom, but now that he's bringing you up, you know, you see things in a different light. It's all for purpose, bro. It's all for purpose. Like, literally, I had to realize that, like, it's all for purpose. Like, everything that I went through, it was all for this very moment right here. Like, the breakup, the, you know, or even just internal trauma, childhood trauma. A lot of us, you know, we got to go back to that childhood. Like, what was taking place in the childhood? We got to be able to talk about things. We got to build up our emotions and express our emotions in the most healthy way possible. Because if not, it's just going to eat us alive. Like, it's going to eat us from the inside out. And it's just not a good look. It's not a good way of thinking. And, you know, another thing I had to do was deal with my stuff. Like, take accountability and deal with my stuff. Like, and the second thing is forgiving myself. Forgiving myself for the roles that I played, for the things that I did, for even allowing myself to be around certain situations of people, places, and things. But I had to forgive myself. Because I didn't know any better. I was just 20-something year old, going through, doing what I wanted to do. Knew God to an extent, but didn't really I was still working on my relationship of it being like stronger. It was there, but it wasn't like I was having my journey. So I wasn't on the up and up. Like, I'm still, you know, even now, my journey is still a work in progress, but we're still on the up and up, and it's gotten a little deeper since I've hit this age. It's gotten deeper for sure. But, you know, early 20s, 23, 24, you still trying to figure it out. But I had to forgive myself for all the turmoil I put myself in, for all the things that I allowed to distract me and to come in and just run me off course. I had to get back focused on some things. So, you know, just know that you're not alone. Like, you are not alone. You are not by yourself. I see you. I hear you. Like, I understand. Like, it's not a walk in the park. Every day is not going to be a good day. Some days you want to cry all day. Some days you'll be happy as ever. You will forget what you're even going through. But some days you're going to be like, oh my God, I feel like I'm at rock bottom, and you crying all day. Like, I get it. But it's just like, but we serve a God at the end of the day. And if you really believe, like you say you do, or you really trying to believe and find out who God is, He gonna bring you out. And I'm a living testimony of that. Okay? I am a living testimony of that. So, you know, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for this very moment, because I did not picture myself being right here at this moment. I knew I had a voice. I knew there was something special about me, but I didn't know that, you know, the plan for me was to reach people of my generation, reach people in my, you know, circle, reach people in the same, you know, demographic as me, and, you know, helping people with their journey. Like, I did not see myself here. I did not see myself here. So I'm just like in awe that I'm even here sitting in front of y'all, talking to you, and you getting to know me and my heart. And, you know, later down the line, I'll get to know you and your heart. Like, but yeah, this healing journey, it's a day by day process. It's an hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second. You could feel one emotion in 1 second, and another emotion in another. So Don't try to rush it. Don't try to complicate it. Don't try to force it. Just let it flow naturally. And that comes with everything. Just let everything flow naturally. Let your relationships flow naturally. Let your friendships flow naturally. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to force friendships, because whatever is meant for you is going to be for you. And that thing is going to keep coming around because it's meant for you. And if it's not meant for you, let it go, let it be, and breathe, and move on. It's just as simple. It's just as simple. I'm telling you, it's just as simple. I had to learn that because I was big on, trying to make stuff fit. And a circle can't fit into a square, okay? Like, if it's not destined to fit, it's not going to fit. And you have to be okay with that. But yeah, I am just in awe because I'm sitting in front of you guys today and I'm opening myself up, and I'm being transparent about my journey. And I'm here to encourage you guys that it's not going to always be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And you have to start somewhere. You have to get to a point to where you're sick and tired of yourself. That's where I started. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. You ever heard? I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of the way things were going, the way people were moving, how I was moving, how it's just so chaotic. It seemed like it's always drama. I had to get sick and tired of my circumstances in order for me to start this healing journey and to want to change. So just ask yourself this question: are you sick and tired? Do you want more? Do you expect more? Are you searching for more? Do you feel like there's more inside of you? And if that answer is yes, then it's time to do the work, baby. It's time to do the work. It's time to dig deep. It's time to go full force, because God has so much in store for you. Just like he has so much in store for me, he has so much in store for you, but he's just waiting on you to give him the green light. He's just waiting on you to give him the yes. He's just waiting on you to fully submit. Some of us gotta submit. It's submission. It don't make you look weak. It don't make you less of a person. You just gotta submit yourself. He just wants us. He don't want all this other stuff. He could care less about all these other things. He just wants us to fully confess that, okay, God, I'm ready. And if you're not ready, cool. No one's forcing. But if you are ready and you feel like you want to change and you want to go a different direction in life, then you got to let him know. And you have to understand that it's going to come with some things. You're going to have to lose some things. And are you willing to give up certain things? That's another thing. Are you strong enough to give up certain things? Because you might have to give up some friends. You might have to give up some habits. You may have to give up some behaviors. You might have to give up some family members. So with all that being said, a healing journey, you have to be willing to give up some things so you can walk and grow and be at peace and be the light. So ask yourself, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to put to the side? What are you willing to sacrifice? It's a sacrifice, bro. It's really a sacrifice that you have to make that step. You have to make that decision that I want more, so I gotta separate myself from these other things that are holding me back. What's holding you back? You have to really look at yourself, look at your circumstances and your situations to see what is really holding you back from doing the things you need to do for your own personal growth. And that's a part of your healing journey. That's a part of the healing journey. So I'm I'm loving it. I'm here. I'm enjoying every moment of this healing journey, even the good and the bad. Even when it doesn't look like what I thought it was gonna look like, I'm still enjoying the moment because I know there's a greater purpose. I know that it's more. It's more. It's more doors to be open. And it's doors that's being shut, but it's okay. And that's why I created this podcast, because, I'm trying to reach people like me that want more, that want the greater things out of life. And it's not just materialistic, it's for your soul, for your growth, for your health, for your mind. Those are the people that I want to reach. I love to do what I do. I love to talk. I love to encourage people. And I'm encouraging you today, just make the step. This is a safe space. Like I said, we could talk about anything. And I just love that I'm in this position to finally express my heart to people, express my thoughts and the things that I've learned and the things that I went through to help somebody else come up out of it, come up out the ground, picking them up. This is real, raw, and transparent. So if you're real, raw, and transparent, then this is the place for you. And I'm just grateful enough to be in this position to help serve you guys. Because this is amazing to me. And just for people to get to know me, the real me, not just the person you see on Instagram or the person you might see around the way, or I be out, the person that you see at the mall. This is really me, because this is my space, this is my domain, and I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. And if you get offended, I apologize, but we get real, we get raw here, because I feel like that's what people want to hear. They have a thirst for real. It's just been so much fake going on in the world that people are looking for genuine souls. They're looking for realness. They're looking for something different. And I just pray and hope that I can bring something different to the table because of what my experiences has been and what I've faced before in life to help somebody else. So I'm just thankful. I'm grateful. I thank you guys. I thank my supporters, my followers on Instagram. Y'all make sure y'all follow the page. It's Half the Full Podcast on Instagram. And I just thank y'all. I thank you for joining me. I thank you. But just welcome. Welcome to the safe space. Welcome to Half the Full Podcast with Ricky T. And if you have any questions, don't worry. We're going to drop a chat soon. We're going to have questions and answers soon. But I just want to welcome you guys to this space, because this is a growing space. This is a mature space. We're going to be mature up in here. This is a grown folks space. If you're really ready to be grown, we can be grown in here. This is for real conversations. This is for transparent conversations. This is, vulnerable conversations. This is the place for that. And I welcome you guys, because we gotta get it together. We gotta bring healing to the community. We gotta bring healing to ourselves. We gotta, whatever's in us goes to our children, and we have to raise our children in the most healthy manner so they can be healthy adults. The children are our future. So it has to start with us. It has to start somewhere, and it has to start with us. And get you an accountability partner. That's what I had to do. I had to get accountability partners. I had mentors. I still have my mentors. My pastors, I have them. They're helping me, guiding me through this journey. If you got to go to therapy, I encourage therapy. Therapy in Jesus, I encourage it. Do what you got to do. But I'm just here to tell you today that, this is a non-judgmental zone. We're going to put it out there. This is a non-judgmental zone, because we done all been through some stuff. Ain't none of us perfect. Ain't none of us got it all together, because I don't. But I'm sharing my experience, and I'm going to help others get through their experiences. And I'm not going to project my negative experiences on your experience or how you should look at life or to change your thinking. We got to cut it out with that. Like, we got to stop projecting our negative experiences and having it shape the perception of others who are listening to us. So I'm here to change the narrative. Whether you like it or not, whoever, I'm here to change the narrative. I am here, and we're going to go through this journey together, holding hands. You guys are my tribe. You guys are my supporters, and we're going to do this thing in love. We're going to walk it out in love. And you might have came here half empty, but I hope and pray that you leave here full and encouraged with a new mindset, willing to change and willing to take a different approach of how things are going in your life. So I'm just here to tell you today that I love you. I'm here for you. I support you. I am proud of you for taking the first step, and I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you wholeheartedly, and I'm here. I am here. So I just thank y'all. I thank you for joining me on this first episode, season 1, episode 1, baby. Season 1, episode 1. And there is more to come. We're going to talk about some things. We're going to get into it. What the girls say? We're going to get into it, okay? We're going to get into it. But I'm grateful, and I love you guys, and feel free to reach out to me via Instagram on the page, DM. Feel free. My door is open. I have an open door policy with your questions, with you need advice, you need encouragement. We're about to get real open and honest on this podcast, and I'm just ready to share it with you guys. I'm ready to go deep with you guys. I'm ready to explore with you guys, and I'm ready to help you guys. So I just thank y'all. I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for, taking the time out your day or your night to come into this podcast and listen. And until next time.